Hello students, welcome in history class. Today we are going to start the fifth lesson, Fundamental Rights Part 2. In the last chapter, we studied some fundamental rights guaranteed by the Indian Constitution. We studied the rights of liberty, equality and the right against exploitation. In this chapter, we shall also learn about the right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, and we shall get acquainted with the judicial protection available for the fundamental rights. Right to freedom of religion. India, we know, is an important secular country in the world. We have studied it in the previous classes, but you must be curious to know what the Indian Constitution says about it, isn't it? It is included in our right to freedom of religion. According to it, each Indian citizen is free to practice any religion and to establish institutions for religious reasons. In order to broaden the scope of the right to freedom of religion, two things are not permitted. First, state cannot impose religious taxes that might be used to encourage a particular religion, that is, our constitution forbids religious taxes. Second, religious education cannot be made compulsory in educational institutions that receive aid from the state. Cultural and educational rights. We can see that there is a great diversity of festivals, food and ways of life in our country. You may have noticed the differences in the different wedding ceremonies that you attended. All these things are part of the cultures of different communities. Our constitution has given the different communities the right to preserve their cultural uniqueness. According to this right, people are not only free to preserve their own language, script and literature, but also make efforts toward their promotion. They can establish institutions for the development of their language. Right to constitutional remedies. In case of encroachment of fundamental rights, the Indian citizens' right to get judicial remedies is also a fundamental right. This is called the right to constitutional remedies. This means the Constitution itself has provided for legal remedies in case people's rights get violated. So, it becomes a constitutional duty of the courts to protect the rights of the people. Sometimes the rights that are guaranteed to us by the Constitution may get encroached upon and we are not able to exercise our rights. This is called an infringement of our rights. The court considers our complaints, investigates it, and in case it is convinced that rights have indeed been infringed upon and injustice has been done to aggrieved individual, the court gives an appropriate verdict. Writs as constitutional remedies. Courts have powers to issue various kinds of writs to protect the rights of the citizens. First, habeas corpus, protection from unlawful arrest and detention. Second, mandamus, the order of the courts, the Supreme Court or the High Court, commanding the government to perform an action that is its duty to perform in public interest. Third, prohibition, to prevent a subordinate court from exceeding its jurisdiction. Fourth, quo warranto, to restrain a person from acting in an office to which he is not entitled. And fifth, certiorari, to order the removal of a law suit from a subordinate court to a superior court. Because the fundamental rights are thus protected by the courts, citizens are able to exercise their rights. They can fulfill their roles as alert, responsible, and active citizens. While considering fundamental rights, we also need to remember our duties. In the next chapter, we shall study our fundamental duties. Till that, enjoy your studies. Thank you.